Dr. Phil. Abducted.
They duct taped my mouth, zip tied my hands.
There are 3 of them trying to drown you in the tub.
And held captive.
They've stabbed you and tried to suffocate you, hang you.
For 29 days.
He puts you in a duffel bag.
And put me in the back of the truck.
Her daring escape.
You ran to this lake and swam across, and then you see them. Today it is a story of unbelievable horror, but also a story of survival. Every year, thousands of young women go missing, vanishing into thin air, leaving nothing behind but unanswered questions. Jasmine Block was almost one of those cold cases. She was just 15 years old when her best friend's father decided he wanted to take her and keep her. Jasmine vanished on August 8, 2017, and for weeks, what happened to her was a mystery. Her family had no idea their daughter was being held captive just 10 minutes away in a tiny closet. For 29 days, 3 men tortured her, raped her, and attempted to murder her. But Jasmine lived to tell the tale.
The Alexandria Police Department needs your help finding a missing teenager. 15-year-old Jasmine Block was last seen at her home on Tuesday around 10:30.
According to her family, she left behind her phone, keys, and a bike before disappearing.
Investigators said she has cognitive disabilities, which made her personal safety and welfare a concern.
Family and friends of a missing teenager in Alexandria spent the day looking for her.
3 people are under arrest tonight after a missing Minnesota teenager was found safe.
Police say a family acquaintance took 15-year-old Jasmine Block from her home in Alexandria on August 8th.
Thomas Barker convinced her to get into his car on August 8th, but he took her to his home, tied her up, and he, along with his friend and a roommate, held her captive.
Barker tied her up with zip ties, and then he, his roommate, and a friend over the next several weeks repeatedly assaulted Ms. Block.
They moved Jasmine to multiple locations, including Barker's home, cornfields, a foreclosed property. That is where Jasmine found her chance to escape when the men went out to get food yesterday afternoon.
15-year-old Jasmine made a run for it.
Police said that she swam across part of the lake and that she was able to find a farmer who lives close to where we are, who then was able to call 911.
The teenage girl from Alexandria is safe and with her family today.
Panic has now transformed into celebration at the Block household.
You're right here in Alexandria is where this all started. The investigation now spanning several counties, including Grant County, and that's where this story has an incredible and heartfelt ending to what can best be described as a month-long nightmare.
Today, this brave young woman is here sharing her incredible story in an exclusive interview. How are you?
Good.
Dr. Phil.
Jasmine.
Good to meet you. In fact, you have no idea how good it is to meet you. Because you shouldn't be here, should you? It's absolutely amazing to me that you are. So when I say I'm glad to meet you, I mean I'm glad to meet you. And I can't tell you how proud I am of you and what you've survived and been through. It's an important story for young girls and young women to hear. So take me back to the day this terrible sequence of events in your life happened. There was a knock on your door, right? Who knocked on your door?
One of my friends at the time, his dad did. He was like a family friend since me and my sisters were all like babies.
Which is Thomas Barker. When you saw him there, that wasn't strange, right? And what did he say to you?
He told me that his son was having a breakdown and that he was wondering if I could help. And I said, yeah.
So this wasn't just some kid, this was your best friend, right? Made perfect sense that he would reach out to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You go get in the car with him, right? Car or truck?
Yeah.
What was
car.
It? And he says, you're headed to the house. Did you hesitate at all to go with him?
No, because he said that it was just down the road, so I didn't think anything of it.
So this is not a stranger, it's somebody you know, it's to go help your best friend. You get in the car with him, and did you tell anybody where you were going?
Like before I went, I knocked on Paige's and Eric's door, but their door was locked and they were sleeping, so. And then I couldn't take my phone with because it was at like 1%, so.
The doors you knocked on, that's your sister and?
Her husband.
And her husband?
Yeah.
They didn't answer, they're asleep. So you get in the car, and you figured it's how far to where you're going, just a few minutes?
Like 15 minutes.
And at what point did you realize this isn't going like I thought it was going?
I'd say we were like about halfway there. My body was like getting this weird vibe. I could just feel it. And then I thought that I was just overthinking because I overthink a lot.
So where do you wind up going?
I ended up going to his house.
Okay. And what's he say?
We got out of the car and then he was like, he's probably in the house in the back. You should go check. So before I went inside, he said, I'll bring you home afterwards.
Okay. And did he go in with you?
Yeah, he went in with me.
Did you look inside and see that he wasn't there?
Yeah.
What happened next?
Then he told me to sit on the bed.
Did he get aggressive with you?
He was like yelling.
Just out of the blue?
Yeah. In my head, I was thinking, this isn't right. And I just want to go home, and that he like tricked me.
What happened next?
Then he got a gun out of a drawer on his bed, and he tells me if I try anything stupid, he'll shoot me.
Do you remember what kind of gun it was?
I don't remember, but I think my mom found out what kind of gun it was from the police.
But it was
It looked like a pistol.
Did he just flash it around? Did he put it to your head?
He put it to my head and he threatened me with it.
Did you think he was going to shoot you?
Yes, I did.
Did he sexually assault you then, or was that later?
Well, he took me to the kitchen and then he did.
What did you say to him during that time when you were in the kitchen?
I think I was just being quiet because at that point I was really scared to do anything or talk. Because I was afraid that if I said the wrong thing that he'd shoot me because he had the gun by him.
Right. Did he ever tell you why he was doing this?
He told me 2 to 3 days before this happened, me and his son, we were biking behind our houses, and then like I fell over my handlebars and jammed my handlebars into my rib cage, and I showed my friend the bruise, and his dad told me that he kidnapped me because he saw me pull up my shirt some to show the bruise on my rib cage.
And so when he saw that, that attracted him.
Yeah.
So he targeted you a few days earlier. So he had planned this out.
Yeah.
So where did he hold you at that point?
After he was done doing everything, he put me in the closet with the TV and pillow and a blanket.
Take me through that time. Was it dark or light in there?
It was light in there because I had a TV, and he gave me some movies, so.
When he comes back, what does he say?
He told me to go with him, so I did because I always listened to him because I was afraid that he was going to try to kill me. He zip-tied my hands and my feet, and then he tried drowning me in the bathtub by pushing my head down.
That day?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the two of you?
Yeah.
He tied your hands in front or back?
In back.
Okay, so your feet and your hands?
Yeah, like my feet were zip-tied, and then my hands were zip-tied behind my back.
Okay. Are you dressed at this point?
No. I only have like boxers on.
And he put you in, did he put you in face down or face up?
Face down.
Tub is long like this. where the faucets are down here?
Yeah.
How did he put you in? Show me.
So here's the end of it. So my face was like facing here.
Okay, so he put you in over the side.
Yeah.
And he's holding your face down in the water, so your feet are on the floor.
Yeah.
So you fought him.
Yeah, I fought him until he gave up.
You kept pushing your head down, you kept fighting back up? Did he eventually tire himself out trying to hold you underwater?
Yeah, I kept on trying to kick him and stuff, and I kept on getting water out of the bathtub from my hair because I had long hair at the time.
Yeah.
So the floor got wet, so he couldn't really keep balance anymore because he kept on slipping.
Right. So he's tried to drown you, and he doesn't get it done. So what does he say to you now?
Then he tells me to go sit by his bed, so I did, and he told me that my mom doesn't care for me because she's not trying to look for me, and that hurt me to the point where I didn't say anything else the rest of the night.
And so now he's trying to break your spirit, right? He's trying to say nobody cares about you, your mom's not looking for you. Did that get to you?
Yeah, I didn't know whether to believe it or not.
Yeah, so he's got you doubting.
Yeah.
At this point, are you thinking, this guy's going to try to kill me again?
Coming up.
When did you get stabbed by Josh? And why did he stab you?
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
You said your phone made hundreds of calls that you didn't make.
My mom is paranoid.
Imagine.
I went to the store, logged onto the Wi-Fi.
And when you did, it shut down the registers.
If you were convinced.
It's making me feel like my husband was having an affair.
He took a polygraph.
You were being hacked.
We've had Stacy's phone for 10 days. You're not going to believe what happened.
That's tomorrow. We now return to a Dr. Phil exclusive.
On August 8th, 2017, I had a family emergency. I asked Jasmine if she would be okay, and she said yes. She was going to sleep. So I left, and then when I came back, Jasmine was gone. I noticed all of her stuff was at home. Her backpack, pajamas, her phone, and she never left home without her phone. And she always left a note, and there was no note. As a mom, I was in panic mode. I knew that Jasmine would not run away. She was scared of the dark, so I knew that someone took her.
At this point, are you thinking, this guy's going to try to kill me again?
Yeah, I was like scared for my life. I thought that he would try to kill me again, which he did.
Of course. Now, he had a roommate.
Yeah.
Who was that?
That was Josh.
Now, you and your best friend's dad, which is Thomas Barker, just the two of you are there all night, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you, I guess, eventually fall asleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the bed?
No, on the floor.
Still zip tied?
Yeah.
And your hands behind you, or did he let your hands go?
He let my hands go.
Okay. When you wake up in the morning, when's the first time you see Josh?
Well, I didn't see Josh for like 3 days maybe.
Okay. So for the next 2 or 3 days, it's just you and him.
During the 3 days that I was there, he tried killing me twice. The first time he tried killing me was drowning me. The second time he tried putting me in a duffel bag and tried drowning me.
How does he get you in the bag?
Just went along with him and I got in the bag.
So you get in and he drags you or picks you up?
He was filling up the tub at the time. So then I like bit a hold of the bag. I got my 2 index fingers and I was pushing them apart so I could get out, and then I got out and he got mad at me because he saw me out of the bag, and then he slapped me.
Okay, so did he put the bag in the tub?
No, he didn't make it that far because I was in his bedroom and he was in the bathroom, and then I bit a hole while he was still filling it up.
So he comes back in and you're out of the bag?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so What's he do now?
I think he was so stressed out, so he got me drunk and he got himself drunk. And then his roommate comes in and...
This is Josh?
Yeah, Josh came in and he gave me like a handful full of purple pills, and then I took them.
Do you know what they were?
I do not know what they were. All I know was it was like a purple pill. So then I went to sleep.
Okay. When Josh came in, did he assault you, or did he?
Josh was the only one who didn't do any sexual stuff.
Okay. He drugged you.
Yeah, he...
But he didn't sexually assault you. What did he say?
He was the main one who was quiet. Like, if I had to go on a scale of who was the nicest one out of them three, I'd say it was Josh. I think he was doing all of this because he was scared. He said to someone that he was only helping Thomas with all of this because he was scared, because Thomas told him that he'd kill him if he didn't help.
When did you get stabbed by Josh? And why did he stab you?
I'm still trying to figure out to this day. I don't know why.
Where did he stab you?
He stabbed me right here.
Uh-huh. And what kind of knife?
It'd be like a knife to like skin like an animal.
So like a big knife?
It's one that can flip.
Okay.
And it was like a big one, kind of.
Yeah, big, but it's a like a folding knife.
Yeah.
And how deep did he stab you?
He didn't stab me in deep enough to where I needed stitches, because once I felt it going in, I pulled out and ran down this steep hill, and then I almost drowned at that time because it was a steep hill and then there was branches, and I got my head stuck under all the branches in the water. And then I got out and then I started swimming, and they were yelling at me to come back and that they promised they'll bring me home, so I thought that they would.
But he didn't say anything about stabbing you? He just walked up and stabbed you?
He told me how bad Thomas's life was, and then he stabbed me.
Now, you had been there a couple of weeks when a third man moves in. What happened next?
Coming up.
He put a sock in my mouth. They duct taped my mouth. I had to fight for my life because I could see blood coming out of my eyes and my nose and my mouth.
So there are 3 of them trying to kill you now.
A Dr. Phil exclusive continues.
Just an incredible story of survival and heroism from this young girl.
Unbelievable young woman.
She was sexually assaulted multiple times and told police at one point the men tried to drown her in a bathtub in a duffel bag, but she kept her head above water, never giving up.
We are all proud of her on behalf of the police department, all the emergency response people. She's an amazing woman with a lot of strength.
Now, you had been there a couple of weeks when a third man moves in.
Steven showed up a couple weeks after.
So how does he treat you?
He treats me worse than Josh does. He sexually assaulted me. He was one of the ones who, like, when they tried drowning me for the 3rd time, he put a sock in my mouth, and then they duct taped like my mouth and the sock. Then they tried drowning me, and I kept on fighting because at that point I had to fight for my life because I could see blood coming out of my eyes and my nose and my mouth.
So there are 3 of them trying to drown you now.
Yeah.
And the 3 of them can't get it done.
Because I was fighting.
You're fighting hard. Is it safe to say these aren't the brightest guys in the world?
Yes.
You knew that. They eventually fold you up in a fold-out couch.
They put a pillow and then my face and then a fold-up couch on me, and then the biggest guy, which was Josh, he sat on it.
So they put you in there, put a pillow on your head, then fold you up in the couch, and then they all sit on it to suffocate you.
But like, I was rolling around, so it didn't work, and I could kick and stuff, so.
So you can push up enough where you can breathe. So they've now tried to drown you 3 times. And now they've folded you up in a couch and tried to suffocate you. Now, this is, what, 3 weeks in?
Yeah.
And all along the way, Thomas and Stephen are sexually assaulting you. So this is 4 times they've tried to kill you. Okay, now they try to hang you.
Yeah.
They put a rope around your neck and stand you on a bucket.
They stack, like, I'd say maybe 3 to 4 buckets. But, like, I woke up in the morning and there was plastic all over in that closet, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then Thomas had a knife. It was like a long, pokey one I'd say to like sharpen branches and stuff. Then he like told me he's gonna stab me if I don't listen. I was on the bucket and they had the rope around my neck, and Josh accidentally bumped it, so Thomas told him to undo me because I was gonna die. So he got me off of the buckets. Thomas, he was sad because this was when he told me he's only trying to kill me because he doesn't want to get caught with me because he's gonna go to prison if he does.
Okay, wait a minute. There are multiple buckets. And they put a rope around your neck.
Yeah.
And the rope is tied to what?
Something to hang like clothes on, a hanging rod.
Clothes rod?
Yeah.
Thomas has the knife.
Yeah.
And he says, get on the buckets, or I'm going to stab you.
Yeah.
Then who bumps the buckets?
Josh.
And when he bumps the buckets, do they come out from under you?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the idea? Was to hang you?
Yeah.
But now he says, get you down or you're going to hang?
Yeah.
So he changed his mind.
Yeah.
And said, I've only tried to kill you 5 times because I don't want to get in trouble if they catch me with you. So what did you think now?
In my head, I was just thinking that I just want to get out of here before I end up dead.
During your 29 days in captivity, did anyone besides the 3 men come to that house?
Yes, they told me to be quiet, otherwise they'll kill me.
Coming up.
I started running. I ran to 2 houses and looked across the lake and I saw a house. So then I started swimming across the lake.
When she come walking out of the grass, I went, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me.
We now return to Dr. Phil's exclusive interview.
During your 29 days in captivity, did anyone besides the 3 men come to that house?
Yes, his wife did, and then his mom, but they didn't know that I was there.
And then didn't a deputy come by at one point?
They were trying to knock on the door. We all were in the bedroom because either Thomas or Josh have stolen some stuff.
Did you know the deputy was there when he was there? They tell you to be quiet?
They told me to be quiet, otherwise they'll kill me.
And is that when they decided they needed to move you?
Yeah.
How did they move you?
They put me in a duffel bag and put me in the back of the truck, and once I got in the truck, they let me go out of the duffel bag.
At this point, are you still thinking they're going to kill you? It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
Where did they take you first?
First, they took me to a cornfield because they went back to the house to get rid of the stolen stuff that they have had at the time.
Okay, so then where'd they take you?
Then they took me to the last place that we were, which was the log cabin.
Okay.
But we didn't actually stay in there. We stayed in the backyard in a little path.
When was the first time they left you alone?
First time they left me alone was when I escaped.
Okay, and tell me what happened.
So the day before that, Thomas and Steve went somewhere to go get some drugs, I do believe. On their way back to the log house where the path was, they saw a cop, so they threw it out the window. Then the next day they told me if I do anything dumb that they're gonna kill me. And then they told me that they're going to go get something to eat for us and that they need to find their drugs. They left me with the truck. So then I was thinking, I was drawing a picture of me and my family at the time. And I'm like, well, if I ever want to escape, now is my time. So I started running. I ran to 2 houses. The one, no one was there. The second one, I thought I knew someone was there, but they had kids and I didn't think they heard me because I don't think I was knocking real hard. So then I ran and then there was no more houses, and then looked across the lake and I saw a house. So then I started swimming across the lake. But I took off my shoes and the pajamas pants I had on at the time, and that's when I saw Earl's house, the guy who saved me, and he wasn't home, so I started running through a cornfield, and then I opened his door and I'm like, call 911, I'm Jasmine Block and I got kidnapped.
Coming up.
At what moment did you decide, this is it, this is the moment I'm going?
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
You said your phone made hundreds of calls that you didn't make.
My mom is paranoid.
Imagine.
I went to the store, logged on to the Wi-Fi.
And when you did, it shut down the registers.
If you were convinced.
It's making me feel like my husband was having an affair.
He took a polygraph.
You were being hacked.
We've had Stacy's phone for 10 days. You're not going to believe what happened.
That's tomorrow.
Newest episode of my podcast, Fill in the Blanks, is available now.
When Dr. Phil calls, I mean, how can the answer be no?
You say what a lot of people are afraid to say, what is not politically correct.
People can believe what they like. I prefer to deal with facts.
Kim Kardashian.
She breaks wind in a public place. It's a major news event.
Can you turn his mic off? Somebody pull the plug on this guy.
Subscribe for free on Apple Podcast or Stitcher so you don't miss an episode.
Right now, we're in a commercial break, so let me ask everyone in the audience a question. Who here has subscribed to my new podcast, Fill in the Blanks? Raise your hand. Okay. All right. Now, you guys are sisters, right?
Yes.
And neither of you had downloaded the podcast, right?
Neither of us have.
Why?
No. I'm not technically savvy.
Yeah, me neither. Have you ever listened to any podcast?
No.
Okay, see, here's the cool thing. When you do click on it and you listen to it, you can listen to it like if you're walking on the way to work, and when you stop and then you start back, it picks up right where you left off. I mean, mid-word, you can listen to it.
Exactly what we need.
Yeah, drive in, drive out, because you get tired of listening to the same old songs, right?
Yes.
So let me show you how easy it is. Okay, pull out your cell phone. All right, this purple icon you'll see on the home screen. This is the free podcast app that comes with your iPhone or your iPad. You can listen to it on either one. It looks like a microphone, and it has the word podcast written under it. Click on it, and then to find mine, you go where it says search. And then you click on the magnifying glass, and you type in fill in the blanks. That's PHIL in the blanks. And then click search. Boom. You click on my podcast, then you hit the subscribe button. It is so easy and free, and every Tuesday is a brand new episode. So then you don't even have to remember. It just tells you, hey, new episode up. And you're going to hear a lot of things, like Emmett Smith is coming up.
I've had my share of incidents.
We've got experts like the head of neurosurgery at Cedars-Sinai. If somebody says to you, should I let my son play high school football?
I actually worked for the NFL as a sidelines concussion doctor.
How do you answer that question? Talking about breakthroughs in brain technology and all kinds of things like that. So it's a lot of fun. Got to get back to the show. Here we go.
A Dr. Phil exclusive continues.
A man is speaking out tonight after calling 911 on behalf of a teenage girl who police say bravely swam across a lake to escape captivity.
Quiet around here usually.
That was until Tuesday, when the man you see here, who asked we hide his identity, left work because he forgot something at his isolated Grant County home. From hundreds of yards away, he thought he saw a deer.
She was up so I could see her, but I couldn't tell what it was.
He says he started his truck to drive towards her when suddenly she came running.
When she came walking out of the grass, I went, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me.
It was Jasmine Block, the 15-year-old girl who disappeared weeks earlier.
It was great. It was just a great feeling, and like, get in the pickup. We're gonna help you now.
How long had you been alone when you took off running? How long had they left you alone to go get
I'd
food and drugs?
say maybe like 5 minutes.
They're gone. At what moment did you decide, this is it? This is the moment I'm going?
I just had faith in myself that I would find someone to save my life and get me reconnected with my family.
Okay. So you run to the lake, and that's how far from the truck? Was it like a football field long, or?
It was a big lake, like it was long this way and that way.
So you take off your shoes and your pajama bottoms.
Yeah.
So you're in?
A shirt and boxers.
Are you a good swimmer?
No.
You became a good swimmer
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah. At that time, I had the fear of drowning because a little bit before that, my friend drowned.
And they tried to drown you several times, so, but you just take off swimming.
Yeah, I had the courage because before all this happened, my best friend died. Then the day after that, my dad died. A couple weeks after that, my sister's friend died. So I had the faith that they all would help me, and I was praying to God.
How far did you swim?
I don't remember how far it was, but I think a couple miles, I think someone said. I'm not sure.
Is this where the path was behind?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you ran from behind this second location to this lake and swam across, and when you got to the grass there, you ran to the road, and that's where you were picked up by the man.
When I got on the grass, there were some trees, but I ducked because I thought I saw Thomas's car.
Right.
But it wasn't him, so then I just darted across from the road.
Now, the man that picked you up was who?
Earl.
Earl. Okay, and when you were in his car, did you see them go by?
Yeah. At the time, all the police were there and the ambulance and stuff. I was actually in the police car, I do believe. And then I pointed to the car and was like, that's them.
Oh, you pointed them out?
Mm-hmm.
Did they go chase them down?
Yeah.
So tell me what it was like after 29 days. They've tried to drown you. They've tried to suffocate you. They've tried to hang you. They've sexually assaulted you. You've fought for your life, swam for your freedom. When you finally see your mother again, when you finally see your sisters again, what was that like?
Coming up.
What was your reaction when you found out it was someone you knew who had taken her?
We now return to a Dr. Phil exclusive.
The detective came. Mom went outside to see what they were here for, and we thought the worst of it. But we got good news. We didn't think that she was alive. We thought that they found Jasmine and she was dead because it had been long. And after the first week and a half, 2 weeks, I didn't think she was alive anymore. When I saw her at the hospital, I was in shock because I didn't think that we'd ever find her. I was very excited and very happy.
When you finally see your mother again, when you finally see your sisters again, what was that like?
I was really happy. I thought that I was never going to be able to see them again. After all this stuff, I've gotten really close with my mom. I don't really leave the house. She sometimes wishes that I would get out with my friends more because the doctors have diagnosed me with bipolar depression. I have been in 3 hospitals, and my mom wished that I'd get out with my friends more because that helps with my depression and stuff.
I just can't tell you how proud I am of you. And You are a fighter. Well, I'd like to meet your mom, Sarah. I think she's going to come in and join us.
Hi.
Sarah, Dr. Phil.
Hi.
So good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I cannot even begin to fathom what it must be like for a parent to have a child abducted and not know where they are and not know, and I guess as days go by, you begin to think you're never going to see them again.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling in the world. You're just on standstill. You know, your life is paused.
What was your reaction when you found out it was someone you knew who had taken her?
A lot of hurt and anger. I didn't understand any of it, how he would even think about it. You know, he has 6 kids of his own. We've known him since all my girls were little. And to find out that it was Thomas, it just really hit hard.
But you know, the truth is, only a small percentage of abductions happen by strangers. The truth is, the vast majority happen by someone that is known to the family. It's either a friend or a family member or someone that's in their lives that sees them and targets them and comes after them. What do you think about the punishment that's been dealt out to these men?
Well, Thomas, when he does get out...
He got 25 years.
Yep. And when Thomas gets out, he's not going to be out in the public. He's going to be in a sex offender institution. So I'm okay with that. But the other 2 got 7 and 8 years, and with good time, it's only about 4 years. And I don't think that they got enough time for what they did to Jasmine.
As a mother, what have you observed the psychological, behavioral impact has been on your daughter since this has happened?
Well, she'll never be the same again. None of us will. Jasmine has flashbacks. She has night terrors. She shuts down or isolates herself. It's hard for her to trust anybody.
Now, she's been hospitalized 3 times?
Yeah.
And for how long?
The first time it was only about 2 weeks. The second time it was 2 to 3 weeks. And then the third time it was over 4 weeks.
And what was the trigger to be hospitalized?
Flashbacks.
The fact that she's been recurrently hospitalized, is that telling you that the problem has not been fixed?
Yeah.
I don't think that situations create heroes. I think situations reveal who people are. I think you are who you are, and then situations come along, and based on what they call for, it reveals your character, it reveals who you are. I mean, if you're a coward, it'll reveal you're a coward. If you're someone of strength and integrity, that will be revealed when you face challenging situations. But I think it's important that when you go through something like this, that you find meaning to the suffering. You create meaning. You have to create some value out of it, or it'll leave you really confused and insane. And this revealed a lot about your character. Grown men tried to kill you, and you fought and fought and fought till you had blood coming out of your eyes, but you fought and fought and fought, and you're here, and there's a reason you're here. You're supposed to be here. And your job in the rest of your life is to figure out why you are supposed to be here, why you survived. And maybe it's because you're supposed to be the greatest mother in the history of the world. Maybe it's because you're going to pay this forward and teach others about never giving up and believing in yourself. I don't know, maybe you're going to cure cancer. Who knows? But you're here for a reason and a purpose. And you need repair.
Coming up.
She deserves whatever she needs to get back to having a joy-filled, safe life. You deserve that. You've earned that. What's coming up on Dr. Phil? Visit our website and subscribe to our email newsletter. You'll get weekly updates, life strategies, and Exclusive video that you won't find anywhere else.
Plus, on drphil.com, you can see sneak previews of upcoming shows. Log on today.
You say she'll never be the same, but she can be better.
Yeah.
She can be tougher, she can be wiser, she can be stronger, but she needs care. I want to help you overcome this. And I can't diagnose you sitting here. I would have to do a whole lot of things I haven't done. I can tell you what would be on my short list of considerations. PTSD would be right at the top of the list.
Yep, they've diagnosed her with that.
And I don't question that diagnosis. And anxiety and depression would be right at the top of the list. And I think what you deserve is the best PTSD specialist in the world. It just so happens that the PTSD expert in the world just so happens to be the chairman of the Dr. Phil Advisory Board. And that's Dr. Frank Lawless in Dallas, Texas at the PNP Center. And that will be our gift to you. Would that be all right if we would start there?
Yeah.
She deserves whatever she needs to get back to having a joy-filled, safe life where she can feel secure and know that she's able to go out and have relationships and feel good and happy and everything about what she's doing. You deserve that. You've earned that. And I'm here to offer you all the resources you need to get that done.
Well, thank you.
Can we do that?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, fair enough? All right. You did a really good job today telling this story, and it's going to impact a lot of lives. So you're already using your situation and circumstance here. I'm so proud to meet you, and at many levels, proud to meet you. Well, I want to thank Jasmine for bravely sharing her story. We're going to help her continue to heal from this trauma so she can lead the life that she deserves. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. You can also follow me on Facebook. We have a lot of conversations there. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe to my new podcast, Fill in the Blanks. It's free. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button, and we have some really interesting conversations there. Thanks for watching. So long.